cherish, Liberia is also a beneficiary of the decision and actions of the United Nations and the Security Council that help to restore peace and stability to our country. And it is with this background, and it is with this mindset and determination that we are seeking to occupy a seat and be elected so that Liberia, using our history and our experience to fight for global peace, stability, and justice around the world, to ensure that we have a peaceful world where human beings, our fellow human beings, without discrimination, can live in peace, enjoy the peace of this world, enjoy opportunities, and equal opportunities without discrimination. We want to say thank you to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia, recognize and appreciate the effort and support. Senator, support to this quest.
We will champion their inclusion in peace building, conflict prevention, and national development, ensuring that they are seen not as risks, but as partners. Liberia's foreign policy has never been about distant ideals. It is and will remain rooted in our domestic realities. Our founding principle is clear. Our foreign policy is built on our domestic policy. And to live out that principle, during our tenure on the Security Council, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will work closely with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Ministry of Gender, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Together, we will actively engage women and youth from across Liberia, from counties and communities, from towns and traditional structures. We will ensure that what we say at the Security Council table does not just reflect elite diplomacy, but carries the weight of real lives, real voices, and real aspirations. Liberia will not just speak about women and youth. We will speak with them and we will speak for them. The third priority is UN Security Council reform and peacekeeping reform. Our journey with UN peacekeeping taught us lessons of strength, of sacrifice, and lessons of solidarity. But we also saw the gaps and the shortcomings of a mission that sought to keep the peace, but could have done more to build the peace infrastructure that remains fragile, but yet resilient today. Liberia will advocate for reforms that make peacekeeping more effective, accountable, inclusive, with stronger partnerships between us, the UN regional bodies, our civil society, and other actors, especially the African Union and ECOWAS, as well as the Monterey Union. The fourth priority, climate, conflict, and natural resources. Climate change is a threat multiplier. In Liberia, deforestation, flooding, and competition over land and water resources increasingly risk fueling local conflicts. But let us be clear, our natural resources are just that. Hello? Let us be clear. Our natural resources are just that. Our natural resources. They are our natural resources. They should not serve as a source of land degradation, environmental crises, or violent conflict. No child should be displaced and no family should flee because others are fighting over the wealth beneath their feet. Our forests, minerals, and waters must not be extracted for external benefit while our people remain poor. Our natural resources in Liberia and across the global south shall be engines of development, not drivers of insecurity. I thought I would get a hand clap for that. Decisions about conservation versus preservation or utilization must be made locally based on what is best for the people of Liberia and what is best for the people we're there to represent, the African people, in alignment with our development goals, our cultural values, and our sovereign rights. If we are to achieve sustainable peace in Africa, then the international community must be ready to have this conversation, not someday, not in theory, but in real time. And at the Security Council, Liberia will make sure that this discussion is not delayed. Fifth, but not last, is peace and security in the Mano River Union. Our sub-region is one of shared history, shared vulnerability. Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire are bound by geography and destiny. similar families. We're interconnected. We'll use our voice to promote stability and cooperation in the Mano River Union, recognizing that regional peace is foundational to continental and global peace. As Nobel laureate and peace activist Lema Roberta Bowie reminds us, peace is not the absence of war. It is the presence of dignity, of voice, and of justice. And that is the kind of peace Liberia stands for. Our development agenda, led by His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boyka, is the arresting agenda for inclusive development. His vision is that agriculture, roads, rule of law, sanitation, tourism, underpinned by energy and technology, will take Liberians to that place of prosperity. But we will not get there without sustainable peace. And the peace we have today is the peace we crave for the world. And that is why our theme for our campaign has been towards a just and peaceful world. Our logo carries the kola nut, a symbol of peace in every community across Liberia. So a vote for Liberia is a vote for a country that has walked the long road from fragility to stability. The vote for Liberia is a vote for a people who know what peace costs and what peace is worth. A vote for Liberia is a vote for a vision for a more inclusive, responsive, and equitable Security Council. I would like to ask Deputy Minister Ibrahim Yen to join me. Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration responsible for the UN. Assistant Minister Karishma Helen Rad. Assistant Minister for International Organizations, but also the local, the national campaign manager in Liberia on the ground. Has worked tirelessly. Ambassador Louis Brown, our global campaign manager, please join me. I would like to ask the Senate and the House Foreign Relations Committees to please join me. Senator Darius Dillon, Honorable Neka Abe. I would like to ask the Office of the President, Minister Sam Stibukia, to please join me. As I conclude, I would like to ask our ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Asan Fonte, to join me. We stand here representing the rest of the Liberians in the room as I say this. In conclusion, Liberia does not ask for this seat as a reward. We ask for it as a responsibility, one we are prepared to shoulder with humility, with courage, and with the conviction that our shared peace depends on our shared action. Liberia has never walked this road before. Liberia has never taken this leap to seek a full mandate of the global community of 193 member states to serve a 2-year term on the UN Security Council. We know that walking this road will require a lot, but we are prepared to take on the challenges. We know that
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized.
the campaign that brought us to today was a small feat compared to what lies ahead, which is having the capacity and the tenacity to man the seat effectively and efficiently. But this we are ready to do. Please join us as we write the next chapter of Liberia's history in her contributions to multilateralism. Being a founding member of the League of Nations, founding member of the United Nations, and with great optimism, we stand here representing the government of Liberia. We stand saying we're looking forward to be a sitting member of the UN Security Council for the first time in Liberia's history with a full mandate. Please vote for us on June 3rd and be a part of writing our next chapter. Thank you. Theheat is not just about global engagement. It is about national transformation. As Liberia advances its development agenda, including its commitment to governance reform, infrastructure, human capital, and climate resilience, a seat on the council gives us a tool to do three things: elevate our priorities, we can shape agendas that reflect the security development nexus, deepen partnerships, council.
I hope and pray that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be, a people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to
of the decision and actions of the United Nations and the Security Council that help to restore peace and stability to our country. And it is with this background and it is with this mindset and determination that we are seeking to occupy a seat and be elected so that Liberia, using our history and our experience to fight for global peace, stability, and justice around the world, to ensure that we have a peaceful world where human beings, our fellow human beings, without discrimination, can live in peace, enjoy the peace of this world, enjoy opportunities and equal opportunities without discrimination. We want to say thank you to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia, recognize and appreciate the effort and support of the President of Liberia toward this effort. And we've come here today
to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be, a people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be, a people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time.
Sometimes ago, you may recall the President, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai Senior, took a decisive action, something I haven't seen in the history of presidency in our country for a long time, to suspend more than 400 government officials for not declaring their assets, which is legal, and giving our responsibility managing the centralized payroll of the government, which many people don't know. Appointed officials and civil servants, the CSA manage their payroll. It is just with the exception of state-owned enterprises, but the rest of the 105 government spending entities are on one centralized payroll managed by the civil service agents. So in keeping with that mandate that the CSA has, immediately the President took the action and the list was released by the LACC. The CSA immediately blocked the affected officials.
Program, and this is the lunchtime program that brings you up to speed with major happenings in Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Liberia, and those of you across the world based upon your timeline on today. Remember, we are on YouTube, channel 2 on YouTube. We're also live on Facebook, at the search handle, and we are also on www.knewsonline.com and in Liberia on 91.9 FM. And thanks to all of you on today's edition of the program. There are a lot of goods in store. Good news for Liberians. I want to say welcome to the platform. Remember, we'll open the lines to discussions after discussions, matter of fact, and you'll be a part of the conversations. We valued your comments, and they are the building block to our modern and emerging democracy. But don't forget, the hegemony of the whole must be kept high on the agenda because it involves the majority, and those that come with equity must come with clean hands. As usual, on this 29th day of May, I am your humble servant, and here today with Sakandu on this spectacular edition of the program. Be with us until 1:30 on this spectacular afternoon show, and you will be served lunch on today. It has been over 6 decades since Liberia last held a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council during the presidency of William V.S. Tubman in 1961. And the Security Council structure and functions, particularly focusing on the non-permanent seat, is an important factor. The United Nations Security Council is one of the most critical organs of the United Nations, with the primary responsibility of maintaining international peace and security. It comprises 15 member states, including 5 permanent members, that is China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, who hold a veto power, and 10 non-permanent members elected for 2-year terms. These non-permanent members are chosen to represent, to be precise, different geographical regions, and are responsible for ensuring a broad international perspective in the Council's work. The Security Council has the authority to investigate disputes, recommend solutions, impose sanctions, and authorize the use of force to maintain or restore peace and security. As of 2024, the non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council are Algeria, Guyana, Republic of Korea, South Korea, Sierra Leone, and Slovakia. These countries are elected for 2-year terms, which started in January 2024. They joined the existing non-permanent members Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, and Switzerland. Newly elected members for 2025-2026 as of June 2024, the United Nations General Assembly elected 5 new non-permanent members for the 2025-2026 term. And these elected members are Pakistan with about 182 votes, Somalia with 176 votes, Panama with 183 votes, Denmark with 184 votes, and Greece with 182. These countries will begin their terms on the 1st of January 2025, replacing Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, and Switzerland, whose term ends on the 21st of December 2024. The rotational nature of the non-permanent members ensures diverse representations, providing a platform for countries from different regions to contribute to the work of the Council, often focusing on issues affecting the respective regions while maintaining a global perspective on peace and security. Building a diplomatic portfolio, Liberia's viability as a candidate is important. Several critical factors are considered in evaluating a country's stability for the Security Council seat. Among the key qualifications are the commitment to peace, security, regional ties, peacekeeping experience, advocacy for exclusivity, and focus on pressing global issues like climate change. Liberia's post-war recovery commitment to regional and global body underscores its dedication to stability. The countries are actively contributed to peacekeeping missions in Africa, particularly through ECOWAS, serving as a non-permanent member, would allow Liberia to further its efforts in promoting peaceful conflict resolutions in Africa and beyond. Liberia has made significant contribution to peacekeeping missions, notably into Mali, the MINUSMA, and South Sudan, the OMAX, where Liberia personnel have played key roles in civilian protection and stabilization efforts. Liberia's experience with the United Nations mission in Liberia from 2003 to 2018, as a matter of fact, provides a valuable insight into peace, conflict recovery, and peacemaking. Liberia candidacy will likely prioritize the interests of Africa and the Globe South. It will advocate for resolving conflict in fragile states, promoting human rights, and addressing root causes of instability such as poverty and underdevelopment. Liberia's voice will be vital in ensuring that less covert conflict, especially in the West African region, receive attention. Liberia leadership in ECOWAS and the Monterey Union positions it as a significant regional voice. A seat on the Security Council would enable Liberia to advocate for the improved regional security frameworks and economic integration to tackle issues like terrorism, trafficking, and instability. And Liberia, like many developing nations, is vulnerable of climate change, making it a potential advocate for addressing climate security at the United Nations. As a non-permanent member, Liberia will highlight the security implications of climate change, particularly for developing nations, and push for international cooperation on the adaptation and the mitigation strategies upon. Domestically, Liberia's political landscape diverges by factors such as popularity, kinships, loyalty, present challenges, party loyalty and propaganda often overshadow independent decision making and is supported for Liberia. Remember, today is the 29th of May, and don't forget, today's history is a regular feature on our program. And today, 1999, Discovery became the first space shooter to dock with the International Space Station on the 29th of May. In 2017, the Panamanian military leader Manuel Noriega, who ruled Panama from 1983 to 1989 until ousted by the United States forces, and who later served prison sentence in the United States and Panama, died at the age of 83 in the Panama City today, the 29th of May. In 1942, the American singer actor Bing Crosby recorded the holiday classic White Christmas, which became one of the best-selling singles of all time in history. The Russian Navy was defeated in the Battle of the Tsushima during the Russo-Japanese War today in 1905. And today the composer and the virtuoso pianist Isaac Abranet was born today into the Caprodon into Spain on the 29th of May in 1860. Good afternoon, good morning, and many thanks to all of you joining us on the edition of the program. Many thanks to all of you on this edition. Be with us until 1:30, and there are several critical issues. Liberia advocates for a non-permanent seat at the United Nations. It is important that we have a discussion on this and how progress has been made thus far. And on the other hand, the Liberian Moses Farah Hospital, JFK, which was established in 1971 to serve humanity, to save lives, there are dark clouds over that institution today. And citizens are complaining. There are reports of complaints. It is good also that we dive into the matter. Probably some of you may or may not have heard, may not be affected, but have heard of reports that are not pleasant to the ears, where lives, precious lives, are lost. Let's talk about those issues on today's edition of the program. Many thanks to all of you, and good afternoon. Let's take this break.
A bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations.
Our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be, a people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be, a people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic.
For that splendid report there on development currently emanating from the United States. As a matter of fact, as Liberia, United Nations Security Council bade Hamas into New York. And this is important, right? And you listen to the reportage. Very strong Iron Lady currently on the West African continent and globally. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti is making Liberia case higher and higher. It's important. Let's say many thanks to the lecturer Representative Neka Gay, who chair on foreign relations, Senator of Nima Kemp, as a matter of fact, Senator Abraham Dawes DeLong of Mosurado, and Deputy Minister for International Affairs, Dr. Ibrahim E. Yang, and Assistant Minister for International Cooperation, Karishma Pelonred, and a lot others, Steve Tikwa, Library Head of Mission, Louis Brown, Library Ambassador in Washington, D.C., Al Hassan Conte, are all making Liberia case. Let somebody tell me that at this stage of our country involvement, we don't or we shouldn't be at such a platform. It is important. And it is good that Liberians also reflect more and solely on to development. And if you listen to me earlier on, there are requirements or qualifications that a country should have. You know, it is so sad now that most of our leaders, one way or the other, to their own consciences can say, post-war, we stay in war, we jail for war and all that. But to be frank with you, we are far from that. We are far from that. We have gone more than 2 decades currently, as a matter of fact. We just don't know this. And Liberians should be proud of themselves. I want to speak to the responsible consciences of Liberians. Because from what I'm seeing is like what other nations are seeing the importance of Liberia's position, Liberians back home are not seeing themselves as such. This is what I want to talk about this afternoon. And this rotational nature of the Security Council, it provides that countries from different regions can contribute to the council. And they are focused on issues affecting their prospective region, despite maintaining a global perspective on peace and security. Liberia, aren't we proud of ourselves, despite of our internal political wrangling, that we have maintained peace? I'm not talking about political parties this afternoon. Are we not proud of ourselves? Are we not proud that when it comes to the global perspective of peace and security, we are part? I will talk about how much of effort we have provided out there to have others. And if you don't have something in a common Liberian saying, they say you can't give what you don't have, right? What you don't have, you can give it. And the fact that we can have something, we can give something, it means that we ourselves should have it. But the only thing I see is that for us to recognize or realize the importance of what we have, that's our problem. The issue of advocacy for inclusivity, pressing global issues, climate change, climate security, we are being affected as a matter of fact. So having us sit at such a position to advocate, you won't tell me we can make it. Liberia commitment to peace and security, we are. I'm talking about regional peace, regional ties. Liberia peacekeeping experience, we are, as a matter of fact. Don't tell me you don't know that Liberia has served in other countries, and as of now, as of right now, as I speak to you, Liberians or Liberia is still serving on the peacekeeping mission in other countries to provide peace and stability and security there in those countries. Let me refresh your mind of recent. Our armed forces of Liberia has gone to Mali. We have gone to Sudan. To talk about the one you talk about either 90 or either 81, either 71 or thing, what do they call it, either 64 or what. We served in other countries before. You know the Congolese war. We were a part. And our personnel have played a key role in civilian protection. And all the areas we have served, there haven't been any complaint that, oh, Liberia caused the problem for the people there. But we made a significant impact in those areas. Remember, we had a very long experience with the United Nations. Sure. Liberia was able to embrace, first with our stay with ECOMOG. And we had a long time. Later on, we transcended to ECOMIL. We had UNIMIL, ECOMIL. We came to UNMIL. And by Liberian accepting such, despite our difference, we were able to settle down today with peace. And from the day ECOMIL entered the soil, let's say thanks to our colleagues, member state of ECOWAS, of Africa, the African Union, and the United Nations at large. Folks were prepared to come on the soil. And Liberians diligently, successfully work with those people. There are evidence. Imagine till some don't even know when Omeo left this town. But there were a lot of positive impact with the coming of being of Omeo into our country. And providing that valuable insight into post-conflict recovery and peacemaking, Liberia was a part of this issue. This is very important. And these are some of the main focus for the country having a seat at such a level. And someone will say, why should Liberia say they want to sit at that position now? Why? Remember, we are a founding member of the United Nations. And today, Liberia can say at such a point will prioritize the interests of Africa and the global South, advocating for fragile states like we have experienced, promoting human rights issue, gender imbalance, having it set on straight, the root cause of the instability of such or poverty that have gone and into underdeveloped countries. Remember, we are still developing, as a matter of fact, and we know where it is. We know the problem. Why would we helping ourselves to help others? And if we can reach from that point till now, though you know, like I say, man, we can't fight war again, man. We can't do it because the mindset of Liberians have tried to be transformed. But likewise, some will still say, the elders will still say, let's be mindful, because if we don't want to have a war in our country, let us not do the things that brought war in this country, that precipitated the issues that happen around. Let us not forget about it. But Liberians are conscious of such, and that they don't want to see these things happening, because we are a witness to such. Look at Liberia's position at level of the ECOWAS position. Look at Liberia's position at level of the Monetary Union. We have been a significant voice. Notwithstanding, we're not just a state or a country that anybody can rely on. We have our voice. And we are still a very good example onto this continent. On a serious note. We have had a successful election that brought the first African female president around. We have had several successful peaceful elections in our country without a resurgence or the re-emergence of war in our area. Don't you think our seat at the level of the Security Council can enable Liberia to advocate for the improved regional security framework and economic integrations that tackle the issue of terrorism, the issue of human trafficking or trafficking as a whole, whether it's money laundering or whatever it is that bring instability upon? We don't think we can sit at the level and have our sustained advocacy. We can't. Today, climate change, our world is tackled with a great deal of climate change. And our being a holder of a very large rainforest in this area plays us to a point and see how much we can sustain the issue. And how much the world depends on this region and how much of this position in this region we hold. I'm speaking to the consciousness of Liberians, responsible mind, that we can see the importance. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm wondering why other nations are seeing the importance of Liberia, see that as such an area, and we are not seeing that. Look, imagine just the other part of this year, the 21st of 2025, there were countries that took over. Look at the list of Pakistan, Somalia, Panama, Denmark, Greece. Are you telling us Somalia is far better than us? Pakistan is far better than us? We don't have any good on the table. Look at those that serve: Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, Switzerland. Do you think our presence there can make a difference? I think so. I think so. And with our relationship, the 15 member state, remember 10 are permanent members. 5 are permanent members and 10 are not permanent. Don't you think we have a good quality relationship with China today? Don't you think so? Don't you think we have a quality relationship with the United States? The United Kingdom? Don't you think we have better ties with the likes of Russia, France? Remember during the past years, of the past regime during the days of Ellen Johnson, these people came to Liberia. They had a representation here. If we can have close ties with the 5 permanent members, having us as non-permanent members among other member states, don't you think this is worldwide? And I'm saying this to remind you that if other nations, other countries can see this, imagine beyond Africa, the Italy permanent representative, His Excellency Ambassador Maurizio Masori, and nurturing Liberia legacy in peace building. Liberia, what makes it more difficult for Liberians in Liberia to see this or recognize this? Imagine the ambassador beyond Africa, the ambassador is saying that Liberia has long been a trailblazer for freedom advocacy. Hey, Liberia, if somebody far up and tell you this thing with an eye from the outside to say this is how you are, this is what you are, why are we seeing our own importance? Why? Why, Liberia? Why? Imagine a representative who represented ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Kensa Jawara Nanja. He invoked the region's pride and solidarity in Liberia Bid. And listen what he said: Liberia's pursuit of the seat on the National Council is a statement to the nation's resilience, dedication to global peace, and its unwavering commitment to multilateral cooperation. Why is it somebody outside or somebody outside Liberia into ECOWAS nations can see such and Liberia cannot see? The African Union, at its very unique program, had a proxy there. Ambassador Fatima Kiari Mohammed reaffirmed Liberia's selections on this thing here. And that the African group at the United Nations, through Tesfaye Yama Sabo of Ethiopia, also calling on his colleagues there, and the Liberia presence will be a no mistake. This is giving me a profound hope that Liberia will be seated at such a position. Why are we seeing it? Is it that politics have divided our eyes, our minds, that we no longer see the fight? We no longer see us as a whole, but we see us in pieces. And as a matter of fact, to be frank with you, that's a reality. Once you take in your mind or have in your mind eyes that I'm from this party, this from this party, maybe we are divided already. But in a logical thinking, we are one. We are one country. We are one. Let me liken this to an orange. The orange has many seeds, many lumps, but that fruit is one. When you're ready to suck the fruit, all those different divides inside make up one juice that come out to your mouth. But you're not saying I'm sucking this part of the orange and this part is different from this part. No, it becomes one. But when you open it, you see several segments, several portions that make up that one orange. This is how I want to liken Liberia. And by the collective efforts of all those in there, make their juice and make that one orange sweet. You may be from whatever party you are a Liberian. You may be from whatever region, you are a Liberian. You may be taller than I am, you are a Liberian. You may be the largest political party, you are a Liberian. You may be the most popular, you are a Liberian. You may come from the ruling party, you are a Liberian. In one whole, we are a country called Liberia. Why are we seeing this? And seeing one woman who was called after her service along the United Nations to serve in this position and help push Liberia to such a state or such a position. This is laudable. This is divine. This is a privilege for Liberia. And in no common sense or no common ideology that someone will help somebody or will help people who don't help themselves. Because it is by the fact that you can give what you give to others. And let me just announce to you, Liberians are very much a peculiar kind of people. We are very much distinct as a country. But our eyes have changed. Politics have made us. Religions have divided us. Sectional creed have made us see that others are insignificant. Power have made us overlook others. That today, our trust, our confidence are one that is eroding. And I hope that we wake up. When the world superpower is looking at us and saying, anytime you leave for your country, you come to our country, you don't go back. You don't prefer to live as slaves in your own country than your home. Then who will face your country? You won't come in my country, you live as slave here. Then I take my money, I go and bury your country behind you. Who will live there? Because I'll come back. Who am I burying it for? But you won't be in my country here. When you see our door, you kill the door. When you pass the car, you pop out the vehicle, you take the vehicle mirror, you go so you take it, when you just steal it, you create a problem for other people. Well, as your home needy. I hope that Liberians are listening this afternoon. This is where we are. This is where we are. We are at a more critical point. At a point that we need to see the value in us as Liberia. You think when the past president saw the need to advocate for Liberia being at this level, was just a mere joke? No. 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 And we are just close because this whole campaign, the bid for such has climaxed into New York. Where are we, Liberia? Will we be a country where others are supporting us but we're not supporting ourselves? Somebody can like you, but you're not liking yourself. Is this what we want? I know living and coexisting with what we are being introduced to, with a lot of religions, with a lot of politics, the sectional creeds, a lot of courts, with a lot of society, it is common, or want to see it likely, that it will divide us. But we have to be mindful. This is an uphill diplomatic ambition for this country. It is now a defining national movement, because it will electrify the current of global diplomacy, that we can really get our spirit out there, that where we are seated, the folks that will see us traveling in this country, they will not say that the world didn't come in, that the team didn't come in, that the people that walk in there, that the people that go to that country, they didn't come out. No! It's a redefining movement. Because people begin to see us, these are former recipients of peacemaking missions, peace builders, national security builders, regional peacemakers. Oh my God. Let me say good afternoon to you. Let me say thanks and good afternoon. Let me remind you today, and it is my pleasing hope to also say now, thanks for joining me. And Liberia, we should not see ourselves like we are a non-entity. Like others want to use several words, that we are. We are not. We are not. We are very, very, very important people. We are very important people. We are very much important. And by us seated at such a position, will give a lot of countries hope. And if we are seeing other people following us, other people saying, Liberia, thank you for coming to this position. Thank you for coming to this position. Thank you for coming to this position. Let me take this break. Good afternoon.
We are project. Liberia, Mama Liberia. Was all right. Together, fight road.
We must arise. Let's get to
Okay, let me say welcome back. It's a reminder that again, Liberia, we are faced with another issue on Saturday, another issue that poses a serious threat to the security of our nation. And it is important that we come together and save ourselves. My people, Mpox is in Liberia. The monkeypox is in Liberia. We were faced with Ebola. We were able to defeat Ebola. We were faced with Corona. We were able to name Corona in the bud. Now we are faced with monkeypox. Let us not hide anybody who is suspected or will be suspected of this monkeypox, the Mpox. This thing is killing others in other countries. Let us not allow our people to die, my people. According to the National Public Health Institute, there are set up provisions into healthcare facilities across the country. Like we said, recently we were informed that Bonkan has received their own case in the Simitoma Hospital. We don't know where it's going. Please, this thing is real. It's deadly. If only we just sit back and look at it, it will kill some of our citizens. It's now time that we prevent it. If you're watching me live, you see what I'm talking about. This thing is very serious, Liberian. It's time. We saw what happened to us. You saw the limit we had to go for Ebola, for Corona. Imagine to have a whole country or to have sections of the country going to lockdown. They can't move a certain part of the period of the day. But with all of these, we're able to defeat it. This is serious, my people. Let's take precaution. Let me say many thanks to all of you watching us live. Thanks to those of you live on our page. Abubakar Diallo, thanks for joining us today. Abubakar, you say hi, and we say thanks to Harris Halitamba. He said from the Chapel Evangelical Ministry International. So clearly, thanks for the show. Thank you, Harris. Johnson Duana said, Camp Johnson Road, thanks for the information, Mr. Va. Thank you. And Jackson Pemi Biako Gate said, I'm watching for red light, Mr. Va. My name is Jackson Pemi Biako Gate. I hope I get the name right. Thanks for joining us. Jamil M. Ross just said, from our comfort zone, thanks for the information. Thank you. And Mohammed Keita, Shuffling Town, thanks for joining Mohammed. Let me say Moses spokesperson, spokesman Iran. Moses spokesman Iran. Thank you. He's watching from Marshall Highway. Thank you. Sky as Kamara watching. Thank you, Sky. And Joel Clark Winning said, good afternoon. Thanks always for your resilience and energy on the show. Indeed, the heat is one of the best afternoon program. Thank you, Joel, for joining us today. And he's watching from Rock Hill community. Thank you. And Wonder Boy Afala Bundu said, I'm joining you today for Fennel. Thank you. J. Edwin Saki Tupo Road. He said, my notable home. Fumba Okiyen, Gwekimau County, Jenny Liberia Town. Thank you. Always joining us there. Sebastian William, Red Light. Thank you, Sebastian, and always joining us. And thanks to all of you. Tito Toga, and say I'm watching from California, Tito. Thank you for always watching from that end. We say thank you. Ephraim as window, Chicken Factory, thank you, Ephraim. And Hotel Grace Priv on GS Road, Painter City, thanks for your viewership there. Francis Sajibo, Florence Sajibo, thank you, Florence. Thanks to all of you joining us this afternoon on the program. So thank you. And I want to say welcome to the show. And please share the video and invite others to join the program on today. You know, we'll go through the lines. I want to say something this afternoon. This thing that is happening is a matter of concern. You know, JFK, of which should have been seen as a country to save life. JFK is turning something away. Yeah. There are complaints upon complaints coming from JFK. And not helpful. It is not something helpful for our country. It is not helpful. You know, this Dallas was launched during the former President George Weah as a flagship facility for the end-stage renal patient, and right now it's tending to become a health crisis. Imagine we're still hearing that people stuck up in chairs, treated in chairs. Some folks go there for their dollars and have to miss it. Some of them having life-threatening issues, and sometimes young people, people with dreams, go to those areas. Hey, JFK, what happened with JFK? Government, what happened with JFK? Imagine we receive a situation here. A young lady was pregnant, she was in Dow, they kept her JFK. They said no, they want her, they took off and they kept her one thing. They said no, you better do what you go home, come back. Before we her man, 2 o'clock at night, she gave birth. When they pour in the keke now, vehicle to carry her back, hospital, she died. Now the nurse were around there, I came and help the baby with other medical issues. I don't know the terms. Now she the one that said the issue now about medical and dental cancer. I also put on an investigation on that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's good to know the fact too. But sometimes you go to JFK, the players will help you. They'll say, "Precious of money, you gotta go." So some boys say, "Yeah, I got money. Your country, I got money. I'll pay you." You start treating the person now. When the money of the person pay finish, you start the treatment. The person will be laying down there. Hey man. Or when the person say one more time, they say you owe money, you owe 50,000, you don't give money player who hold you. Hey JFK. That place should be a go and get live and be safe. But the complaint that comes from JFK is not correct at all, my people. And government please. Hey government. Not just every government that can tell the JFK will be good. You know what I'm building? Keep the being with the request of the former president, William V.S. Tubman. When the former United States president, John F. Kennedy, visited in 1961 in Kiddo, Liberia. The hospital came to being in 1971. So I was been close of 10 years. But, hey man. There are even people now on bed complaining. Don't say no bed. The popo in here getting drip. Hey man. That happens over you. The dancer everyone and the white post get go there and say, oh yeah, they play key into being so that people can be thinking about going to America or going to Ghana or going to India, all that. But it's now turned to be somewhere very bad. Because the lady our issue there again, the nursing home part, the nursing again, imagine they were more. Let me talk about the lady who died. Allegedly, they say as a result of one policeman, they carry her. The father called me. He said, my brother said they can't think help. They brought my daughter here. They didn't happen. Then the people saying that I'm gonna go take my body wagon. I don't want to bring the person here. When the people who brought the person, they didn't say nothing. The man said, this, you can't just my heart breaking. He said, but I talked to the point, they didn't even hear me. Hey, Liberia. Liberian people are suffering. Oh. The food are already there. Then the person gets sick. Then the hospital wants to help them, they go there, the hospital too is an issue of disappointment to them. Hey, Jesus Christ. Hey, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This is very, very much serious. Imagine. They say the dollar say is around $75. And the other guy that was there, he's paid 75. The additional price for injection 25, and so you are forced to pay for $250 a week, more than double the monthly income of most Liberians. They may be making $250. Then they may go to the hospital and say, "We'll pay $200." Hey, is that the economy looking? Is that the economy looking? But government really need to pay attention to JFK, my people. Government really need to pay attention to JFK. Also now I get so from my gas in my spirit when I see our people falling for parking space. Oh, I don't want to be the president. I don't want the town chief. I don't want the speaker. I don't want this. They forget to know, and these are people that should have oversight responsibility. And what is more about it here like a heavy war? The people falling for opposition there. They do not most of our country, but they not most of our country. Then most of our country will post sit on there, show them they go. They will sit on there because they know that the poor they won't be affected. And the poor will cost the trouble. That's for here. The place some of people coming from, they already know that poor depend on the go to the bowl. The tree bar. Well, they're gonna bar, we're gonna bar there. They know that poor depend on that in it. You go in the bush to call leave and drink it. But here, why are you going around here? You say at a hospital. But you're there, poor causing not right under your foot, your people then suffering, your son and your boo in your problem. You're saying you're causing not anything you'll be eating. Your people there suffering. And the poor causing no noise, they're not even going to that poor place for 2, 3 more, 4 more, 5 more. But the 3 hours causing noise. They begin to not sleep. People are dying slowly at JFK. People are dying slowly at JFK. And sometimes those brothers come on us. You imagine, sometimes I will leave a show, someone come up and say, "Fire me above to the hospital now. We so pay some 5,000, where you get money?" The person will come answer. Oh, my husband come answer. My son come answer. My woman come answer. Hey, like that. And with these issues, lives have been lost gradually. When you check in 11111, the amount of people are dying with the problem that JFK has today. You know, you see, the number keep increasing. Government. And sometimes when these issues come around where we're having major sickness, it is more worrisome. Because where the poor go? They are now sitting around. About 250,000 get chicken power. I mean, not the chicken power, the monkey power. They go to GFK. Why do they say now? They put out there already crying. Eh? God, please save us in this country. There should be a lot of improvement out there. It is very much serious. And I wish that for our platform to join the voices of those who are crying and suffering in those areas. We are not too more. Because the hospital is turning people down and people go home to die. There are people in the hospital who started treatment, their money finished. The hospital said they can't treat you again, jail in there. Some people who they treated small more, you order small. You want to say, look, at least I can be also we pay them money. Say, no, you're not going outside. You hear people are to run away. People are to do this. You go there, you get a patient, the person not making the person die, they say you owe him 150,000. Even when you pay the money by the person there, well, sometimes you say, yeah, that's true. But no way, the person died. You have to pay out 40,000 to move on. What the money I get, my house already plenty. Some people tell me, I can't believe it, but where you go? Eh? JFK. The era where was the beacon of hope. People were living from Sierra Leone, Guinea to come to Liberia, to go in JFK. The era where it was a life-saving area. Now, it's now in the area of serious health crisis. This is very serious. Good afternoon. I'll take our break and we'll go to the lines to talk to you today. Please, Liberia.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be. A people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I believe that after 14 years of devastating civil war, a peace process that involved everyone, especially driven by women, 21 years of stability, several election cycles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity to a place where the founding fathers of the UN wanted it to be. A people-centered world. Thank you, and God bless us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lema Roberta Bowie, 2011 Nobel Peace Prize winner, a proud citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I join my voice with that of the citizens of Liberia and our government to endorse our bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security.
To stand before you today as we close Liberia's campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the term 2026-2027. We are not here simply to make a bid, but to make a case. To make a case for shared values, to make a case for collective responsibility, and to make a case for a renewed voice from a country that knows both the scars of conflict and also the power of peace. Liberia's unique history positions us to contribute meaningfully to global peace and security. As a nation that emerged from civil war through the helping hands of the international community, guided by UN peacekeepers, regional solidarity, and the resilience of its people, we understand firsthand the state of the Security Council decisions. And I would like to beg everyone to listen very keenly to what Liberia has to say. We are no longer passive recipients of peacekeeping. We are
Okay, welcome. Thanks for joining us on today. It's so important to take your mind to memory lane and let us not lose hope, my people. Let us be aware that monkeypox is in Liberia. It's deadly. There are reports. We cannot compare this with Ebola or the COVID-19, but let us not lose our grasp before it becomes worse than what we have faced before in the future. It is time to work it out. Let's go to the lines of talking today. Liberia's position as a permanent non-member at the United Nations Security Council is important. It's heightened up. We have just closed up the issue there into New York. Our team very much strong and a tight team. Thanks to the folks there. Mosoro County Senator Ibrahim Darius DeLong, Neke Gay, the chair on foreign relations, and the chair on foreign relations, Ibrahim Darius DeLong, and the chair on foreign relations. Both of them are all on the issue there, for love and representing the Senate. And we also have His Excellency Hassan Conte there, Ambassador to Washington, and Cyril Besto Yanti as the lead campaigner, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Deputy Minister Ibrahim Yan, or those Assistant Minister for International Cooperation, Karishma Pelham Red, or Steve Tikwai, all of those people there. I want to say thanks, but this is where we are, and GFK is the issue. Let's talk about first call on the line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Let me say good afternoon to the SLIC President Barker and Representative Unanga. Some of you get that from Broadway, this is 17. So let me appreciate you for this all important discussion. Let me appreciate the team, the case of Liberia, in another nation. According on all Liberia across the world, despite your political affiliation, the travel background and religious beliefs, they all come together because if Liberia achieve our goal, what we are aiming for, it will add value to us, it will give us prestige, it will give us a lot of opportunity, and it will also give us recognition across the world. So as Liberian, let's put our local activities down and go international and support our country to high and see. Thank you so much for the show.
You're welcome, Kepler. We'll talk to you. Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead.
GFK, every year, GFK. Every year, looking at that, I used to go up and out that people will be trying, we'll tell our government will be trying to work. To put money in that for a time, for that for the really can to get that pay off the cinema because every other slogan for that, it'll be a lot.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Nod.
Lutolo Minisaki, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. I speak about District number 6 from Mosoro County. And the issue of JFK, my brother. Being more of Mars and my mother fell, or I can't hold to JFK. Wrap up 12 o'clock and now when the woman they never out there telling us no bed. So if you can put your mother on in the chair and then with your treatment, no problem. And also we have a VIP room. So the VIP room is $50 US. So if you get the money to pay the VIP room, pay what the VIP room you do, yeah, I'm going to be sitting in the chair. One money they tell you one condition, when you can any hospital, who can't run in the chair and the head drill off. So it's not having this go there. JFK is a whole that we go there for treatment. Two can be in a where you got. If you don't have the money, surely you are not with the visa. So what having this go there? So we pray that this government should look after JFK. Some of us will not have money. You said government school, but in government hospital, a lot of them they don't have the money. And how are waiting for you to go $50 US, then you will go $20 US, you carry your patient there, you will die in your hand. Oh God, thank you for the show.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm concerned I'm going to join for the issue of GFK as to take now another issue that means ask why you just said about GFK. Right now, if you carry your patient as a caretaker, you no longer stay by your patient. You have to sit in a facility of GFK. As we speak, Saturday at this patient, they would have to sleep outside the gate from the 23 entrance. We slept outside the gate. Nowhere caretaker can sit in a whole facility. Can you imagine there was a test to be conducted on Saturday night? all the people that you could go to particular test, where Monday, we have to pay for them to go to a test to the other hot status. People who even over a little care a little umbrella well as we speak. So the issue is very bad. It's not helping the nation at all. Thank you.
You're welcome, my brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nat, and good afternoon to my great people. I'm hearing the channel speak, now let me say today to the Liberian people, politics are taking over everywhere in our country. I want to say to President Braga, we get in your campaign message that you say you're going to improve GST. Everywhere you are in, going left and right in this country, I will with you. You told the Liberian people you're going to be taking measures to GST. Please, I beg you, please improve GST because GST are not there. If they're there, it's good enough for everybody to be good, but it's not GST. Everybody is going to go GST now. So they will beg you, please improve the health system in GST will beg you because that's why you told us that you're going to be taking measures to GST. Please, thank you for your opportunity.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jiva Nathaniel, and I say good afternoon to our many listeners.
Yeah, Ransom, go ahead.
Thank you. I was actually waiting for people like you, to visit JFK. My brother, let me tell you something. JFK, from the security, the private security, and to that of the nurses, the fact that it's the human one, the army should be drawn to JFK and take all the private security that done it because they are all in for who. Look, let me tell you something. My father was sick, he was to that hospital for 1 month. You know what JFK? The pharmacy across the road, the local pharmacy, here where JFK is, you will pay all the money to JFK in the net. That means so if you not cross the road, if you're going to go buy the drugs, you see private security coming to ask you, why go about, I get so why go about, get it out. Look, Jeba, I'm begging you, please, I want you, even if the president returns today, this topic should continue until they can fall in here. Look, it's not install camera to JFK to be monitored those nurses work over there. JFK is not JFK. I cannot know you, brother, and you tell question and you. In fact, the person will tell you, say, we don't want no caretaker. Allah will tell you, everybody can when the living body. Don't children are sick over there, will be on their phone 24/6, they not get no time. But I cannot know JFK.
Okay.
Welcome people ever in the
Okay, thank you. Let me talk to you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my son.
You're welcome, man.
No hospital in Labro. Labro, no hospital. Yeah, baby, so all the representatives, senators are on health. Get down and put their feet down. JFQ, here the view. Charlie Hospital, no hospital in Labro. No security to hospital in Labro. Charlie will treat people when you carry as person to the hospital. Daddy will treat you to the bank. JB, I know you here, but your messenger they will tell you. Big your please get on and check what they say now. Every morning your people JFK, your people your business. Let everybody hear and do something.
And the next advocate I'm going to get on is, I think JFK should not be headed by a medical doctor. I think so. I think there should not be a medical doctor heading JFK. Let be strictly administration, and let's see how they can govern others who are there and see the need. Because if you are, I don't want to go too far in that. Good afternoon. We'll talk about that. Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Simon calling from Buchanan on Thomas Street.
Yeah, go ahead for Buchanan.
I want to be grateful to our health minister with the little work she has done, but we are calling attention to please talk to the president of the people because there are so many people are dying every day on their wife, on their complete every day. We can be their children, but we need to see their children as many as the country. So a lot of people go to no there, no this, that was speaking with people around that, and why not to do that. So we are appealing for more further attention to please get to the president so we can find a better applicable solution. So I mean our people can say.
And just imagine the era that was open to the days of former President Weah, it's becoming very useless. The Dallas area. It's so serious. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
JFK. Hello?
Go ahead.
JFK is saying what made the medicine shortage and then no drugs. Doctors get clinic. Nurses get clinic. They get drugs too. How would the drugs sit in the hospital when the nurses are all they get drugs too and they get clinic? So the problem we are facing in the country, if you can get the doctor or the nurse or get inspector on a fee, inspecting all your beds for getting ulcer. Inspect everybody time for getting ulcer, drinking one more. You got to put the bed, you find the drugs in the bed and take it outside. So that there's strong inspector and people inspect each and every one of them, the bed and the carry in, or they pay the partner there when they enter. When they enter working, they take the head and go out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for the topic. My second bench to JFK. Yeah, thank you very much for the topic this afternoon. In JFK, my mother was sick and went to JFK for treatment. I'm telling reality JFK and not JFK. I imagine the nurse I was sitting at the counter. They told me they had to reach to the nurse to go rest. Medicine to describe the medicine and to read it on my liver tablet. I say my liver tablet. And they get out to read it. To say my liver tablet again, I can call my late sister. My eighth grade is at the discount. Then you say, well, you're looking at my liver tablet.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm taking the people. Yes, taking for a basis afternoon. And it's a lie. JFK before I was JFK banana. JFK, no more than I was JFK banana. Some call it nice like this. They got it. Promoted chop stove. While we're in there, I went to the hospital. There is chop stove. Why you say that you see all the medication like that? Most of them are there and also.
And we advocate that JFK should not be headed by a medical doctor. On a serious note. Okay. Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead. I said go ahead. Good afternoon. No, thank you. Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead. I said go ahead.
I want to speak up because she got coming along. So I want to please do not forget. I didn't get a lot of 20 million you forget. The next forget we are in for JFK. I also didn't remember the group. What was it? Where I was carrying drugs, taking money when the clinic carried drugs to the hospital. One of the five government, the minister of the hospital, hospital, clinic. When you carry drugs and pay that, they pay for clinic.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The public defender Woji there.
Yeah, point for the soon to be so great township.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you that JFK should be headed by an administrator instead of being headed by medical doctor to see what will happen. Besides, JFK is the only key hospital we get so far, so we ain't got to be managing and be praying. And also pray for government to get money to help on it, those that will be working with them, all the servers, so that the city can be reduced. If we are wealthy, if they decide to be a chief register to be city, then we'll have you arrested and have you incarcerated. I need that thing to change. But it is very sad when we don't want to explain the whole story about GFP and how the opportunity hospital, so we accept it. But that is it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ba.
Yeah, Tana Kere.
Yeah, thank you, Baba. Thank you for your platform. Good afternoon. We saw the post talk to the lawmaker senator, representative, people that they go around the country to go for check-up, to go take treatment, around the country, we can post stuff to them to the airport. We have, we post stuff to them. All we go to GSK. When you go to GSK, right to the accident department, we enter there, when you take those masks, I'm going to take, when you take those masks before you enter the fact. So we pray to God, let us start to do it like a cool all the time for treatment, right on the airport. If we can our own, we all go, we just go start to everybody we just go to ask for treatment. Thank you for the show. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Nathaniel, Senior. Yeah, thank you very much for the topics about the hospital. But one thing I'm looking at, we are travel and we see other countries, hospitals high looking, and we allow government workers them to go for medical attention, and seeing those hospitals like JFK, I mean like Ghana, you go to Kolivu, you go to 37 hospital, you see those places, you can even wear your nose. You can't go to pass around our hospital. It's too big, and a lot of things is going on there. But I see librarian open a hospital, like a clinic or centers. So the best thing, government workers should be here taking their treatment. That's the only way to pay attention to our hospitals.
Okay, let me take two more calls to carry a day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
This is the issue. You see, when it comes to this healthcare delivery system, I don't know when it will be really addressed in our country. You see, now we continue to accuse. We are putting finger at the bucket pharmacy. Whenever you are having a car on the town, people will tell you, say that a new GFK there, that a new GFK, whether we have been able to ascertain that fact. And if you check GFK, you got health workers, both in the rural community and see those that work with the IGFK. Some got clinic, some running drugstore. You are not investigating that, but finger is just being pointed out 1-2 persons. I mean, we something must be done, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me just take one more call and call it a day. And I'm sure we'll advocate that GFK should not be headed by a medical doctor. On a serious note. So we really monitor the people. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My father called up today. Go ahead.
I have the topics today. There were two shares very interesting and sorrowful. One time we said, everyone was trying to say that if we can only put stop to our government officials from flying out of this country to go for medical checkup in other countries, America, Ghana, Africa, and this and that, then they will know the importance of that hospital. That hospital I took operation 3 times in that hospital, but I didn't get out. I took operation 3 times in that hospital. The time I was taking the operation in that hospital, after plumping, another plumping was a lot. So people who open the hospital were a lot. And when you go to the hospital, you eating very far down on the floor, you will pick it up and eat. But this time, go there. Even though you enter the yard, when you enter the yard, you added to the security to the gate. Every hospital, including our leader, not just.
Okay. Thank you. I gotta go. Time has come with me, my greatest enemy, but I got to go. It's so worthwhile having you on today's edition of the program. Many thanks to all of you. Don't forget the geometry of the whole. It must be kept high on the agenda because it involves the majority. And those that come with equity must come with clean hands. Until then, I'm J. Nathaniel Viva. Just call me the ambassador. And I'm here today with Sakandu on this edition of the program. Join us tomorrow for our weekend edition of the program. It's going to be spectacular on tomorrow. Until then, have a God bless.
Several election circles with peaceful transition, Liberia is uniquely positioned to lend her expertise to the Security Council, especially in a time where our world is deeply divided and polarized. It is my hope and prayer that our bid will be granted and that Liberia will join with other nations to bring our world closer to peace and bring our collective humanity